Bandai has just launched the EX5 website, so we're going to have a look at it in this episode of Diginews. Hi everyone, Vortex here, and today we're going to look at something that is very important for our upcoming format. It is obviously going to be the EX5 website. This is a pretty big deal because EX5 is kind of like the start of a new direction for the Digimon card game. We see more powerful archetypes come from this set, such as the Garurumon support, but also the Devil deck in general, which is very, very strong according to Japanese results. So it is going to be a very interesting set. So if you're looking forward to this episode of Diginews, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into the EX5 website. So we are here, EX5. The beast gladiators gather in the Colosseum. The battle for destiny is about to begin. Okay, cool Bandai. Yeah, this is going to show us 7 main points for the new set. I think this is going to be quite a big one because there are some interesting things that are also included in this set as well, which we'll get into when we get to them. But 7 main points. The first point being the 4 sovereigns and endeavors come together. Space! Exclamation mark! I don't know why they do that, but they always do that. Essentially, this set is the debut of the Devil archetype. We've seen these cards previously in their own little archetypes, so stuff like Eben Wumon, Baihomon, Zhuquaimon, Azulongmon. I'm probably butchering those names. They've all had cards before, I believe, but they were never really good. But now they're all one archetype, and the archetype is pretty good if we look at Japanese results alone, essentially. Yeah, this set is gonna them, and I think they're gonna be a pretty big hit, especially with some of the alt arts that I'll put on the screen now because they do look very beautiful. Yeah, so they're showing off like all of the main key cards for each of the colors. Protectors of the North, Protectors of the West, South and East. Well, look, this might mean a lot to a lot of you guys, but as a person that has not watched anything Digimon related, I don't know. Yeah, all of these cards are very strong. All of the main boss monsters, except for the secret rare, essentially ace cards, which is quite interesting. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to actually trying this deck. Feels like it's going to be relatively cheap other than Fang Longm. And here we are, Fang Longm. It has powerful defensive ability that gives total immunity to opponent's effects, while its offense ability trashes opponent's security cards according to the number of 4 sovereign cards. Wow, buy our set please! No, okay, it's quite funny. I like to over-exaggerate these kind of things, but it is quite funny to me anyways. This is your main boss monster of the deck. It's pretty good. Yeah, expect to play around. I think you play 4 of this card anyways, but very, very good card indeed. Then we get on to point 2, the Sun and Moon Digimon make their first appearance as cards! The main characters from console game Digimon Story are also here from console game. Never change, Bandai. Never change. But essentially, this is one of the other big decks of this set, essentially. I don't think it's really done much in Japan, unfortunately, but it is a big fan favorite because I believe it is part of, is it like Dusk and Dawn games? I'm not 100% sure, but I remember when these were being revealed, everyone was very, very happy about it, so I'm glad people got those, essentially. But essentially, this is a DNA deck. If anyone knows my thoughts on DNA, I don't like DNA that much. That's a whole different video, probably at some point. Yeah, this essentially means you kind of build your stack up to go into either the Apollomon and Dianamon, and then you go into, I believe this is the second level 7 DNA, other than Ragnar Lordmon, I believe it is. Grace Novamon, using the Sun of Power. So I don't know, man. They're just trying to sell it because it is the other set, the other secret of this set, which is a pretty big deal because obviously for the most part you're going to get one of these in your boxes, or you might not get any, which would be even greater. Just showcasing the deck off a little bit. Now we get into something a bit different, but still kind of a brand new archetype anyways, I say. The new keyword, Fortitude, is here, and Fortitude is primarily on the Leomon strategy, it seems, and I don't think even after this set we get more Fortitude cards, which says enough about the keyword effect, essentially. If you have Digi-Evolution cards underneath your Digimon, and if your Digimon was to die, you get to play it back, essentially. Pretty powerful effect, but one of the issues that I think this is going to have is that if you're able to keep on, you know, putting sources underneath, you're essentially just got like this massive guy that just can't die, essentially. And it feels really bad deleting a guy knowing that you want to get something back, essentially. I think the biggest, not probably biggest offender of this, but probably the thing I would think of most is the new Gomamon from BT14. You delete a stack and then it just comes out again, so it just doesn't feel great, but this is on a much larger scale, allows you to essentially play again, and it could be like a level 6, it could be level 5, not just level 3. So yeah, pretty strong keyword. We'll see how it does in the future. I don't think it's going to do that much in my opinion, but we'll see how it affects our English metagame. Point 4, deck recipes. Oh boy, I just released a video. I'll leave a link in the description down below, but I just did a video essentially doing a whole video about one of these deck recipes. So we've got 4 this time, or no, 5. I don't know, I might check them out at some point. We'll see. If you enjoyed that that video, once you go watch it, pause the video, go watch that first, then come back. I thought it was pretty fun. I don't think it was the most enjoyable deck to play, but I think it was an enjoyable watch. Maybe I'll do a part 2 on this. Maybe we'll do one of these decks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but basically these decks are here for, you know, just to give you an idea of how to start your deck building process for these archetypes. But I think now they have an additional recommended card at the bottom. So like this card isn't part of the deck list that they've provided. They give you like an idea of like what you should be playing. So quite interesting. As you can see, all the cards are EX5. The problem here is that these deck lists are essentially designed for you to buy the product essentially. So all you're going to see is EX5, but if you're looking to play this deck, please do look at other builds. There are other cards in this archetype that aren't EX5, for example. Yeah, that's the case with a lot of these deck profiles, unfortunately. Point 5, rare alt art card, including impacts at a low pull rate. Yep, we're still doing this ghost rare-ish type thing. I don't like this one because I don't like the old style of card. I think it looks very, to maybe offend some of the people watching this video, childish. I don't like it. I don't like the background. I don't like the border. I'm not a massive fan of it. So hopefully, if you guys really enjoyed this, you'll be able to get it in your packs. I hope that I get the other one, which is going to be 0.6 Metal Guru X Antibody, which will be included at a low pull rate, will be illustrated by an illustrator from outside of Japan, exclusive for the English version. Wow! I love this artwork. If I'm being perfectly honest, this is the artwork that I want if I do get the low pull rate card, because this card looks like Sephiroth coming out of the flames from Final Fantasy VII. If you know, you know. I like the fact that they're doing more of these English illustration cards. I think it just gives you more of a reason to buy a box, essentially, because you kind of need the reason to buy a box in the first place, and having these ultra rare chase cards does help that quite a bit, in my opinion. So I'm happy that we got our exclusive one. I'm sure everyone outside of people that play the English version of the Digimon card game are very unhappy, like they were with the English illustrations from BT14. So, sick. Fun. Then we also have the final point, which is box toppers. Box toppers are a huge thing in the Digimon card game, and we get 3 in this box essentially. So let's talk about them very quickly. The first one is going to be the most boring out of them all. It is the egg pack essentially. They're just hollow versions of the eggs that you get in the set. In my opinion, I couldn't care less. I think the hollow pattern is kind of getting a bit dull, in my opinion. I think they're kind of just meh. But if you're looking for specific ones for decks, or like looking for ones that might be the worth the most, Freemon, Moonmon, and Sunmon look like your best there essentially. Or the Xiaomon. The Xiaomon's pretty good as well. So just avoid the Toko and the Niaromon. If you do that, you're probably a little bit more happier in your life. Another box topper we get, limited card set version 2. This is a promo pack that we were supposed to get, I believe, ages ago, but we just haven't had the chance to get, unfortunately, which is very unfortunate because there are actually a lot of cool cards that you can be using in this pack. Before we actually get into the context of this pack, I'm kind of annoyed about it, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm so sick of having these 1 card per packs situations for these box toppers. I think for stuff like this that is already late into our meta game essentially, we have to only get 1 of these. I think we should just get 1 of each. It'll just make it a lot more easier for people to get. The value of those cards will go down. People will be angry about that, sure, but just having the ability to get all of these cards, I think, is more important. Only getting 1 of them is going to suck, especially if you get the one that you do not like. For example, I do not want Skull Greymon, I do not want Kuagamon, I do not want Entomon, but when I do eventually open this product, I will probably get 1 of those free, and I will be upset. So, sick! And speaking of box toppers, and me complaining about box toppers again, it's the same situation for the 3rd anniversary update pack as well. You only get 1 card per pack, and I'm a little bit more bitter about this one, if I'm being perfectly honest. If you've watched my channel, you know that I really do like the Phoenixmon deck, and the card that we desperately needed for the longest time, essentially, Saberdramon, is in this pack. But you can only get one copy of it in a pack, and the chances of you getting it is 1 in 6. So good luck, because chances are you're not going to get it. I don't know why they do this, especially as like there's other cards here that people really do enjoy. The Destromon is very nice. The Dracomon, very nice as well. So I hope they improve in the future, because I definitely just want to have one of each card in the pack, because I just think that just makes sense. And the worst thing about it is that I'm pretty sure these cards are not hollow, so it just feels even worse as well. And that is all of EX5. EX5 in its entirety got some new strategies, got some box toppers, which most of us are going to be more interested in at this point. My overall thoughts, I like the fact that they're adding a lot more incentives to actually buy a box of Digimon. Previously, like in older sets, you'd only have like one box topper and it would be a bad one, so you wouldn't be incentivized to actually buy a box. But Bandai now know that people, they want to get people to buy boxes. So buying boxes of this, I think, is fair value. You get essentially 3 box toppers. You have a chance of getting, a special illustration card that is exclusively to the English version of the game. So I think there are a lot of interesting things that they're doing with these box toppers, and I hope that they continue down this road. I just hope that they improve the box topper packs essentially at this point. I don't want to open it and only have 1 card per pack. I just want one of each, make it a lot more easier. It doesn't even hurt you really. I mean, you don't get any money from the secondary market, so I don't get it. But let me know what you think of EX5 Animal Colosseum in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching this episode of Diginews, and I'll see you all in the next episode.